Yo. Peace and love, everyone. Peace and love. What's going on? What's the deal? Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of SRDaily. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston, and this is episode 545. Episode 545 of SR Daily. 545 consecutive days. We are getting close to the midway point. We're getting close to being halfway to 600 episode. To just keep going, man. I am a bit tired this morning. I definitely needed a nap after the show. I was up till about 4 something in the AM, and then got up at 7 to jump on a prayer call and do my meditation and prayer. And yeah, I need a nap. I got a meeting at 12. I'm gonna sleep 9:30 to 11. I'm gonna get in bed by not as soon as the show is over. I'm going right into bed, and I'll probably fall asleep by 9:45, 10 a.m. And I'm gonna sleep till about 11. 11, get up, shower, and head to this meeting, and then I'll do my workout and other stuff I gotta do later on, right? But I was up creating, man. I was up manifesting. I was up like in the spirit, right? I was up in my emotion. I was up with my emotion. I was up just cultivating, right? Yesterday I posted, I'm gonna talk about it, but yeah, I was just emotional. Michael Castado, peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I was literally up writing some goals, writing some affirmations. I was up just feeling the shift. Right? I was up with the shift of energy, shift in time. Uh, we're now in Aquarius season. Shout out to my Aquarius brothers and sisters. This season brings audacity and confidence and conviction, right? Some boldness with it. I am excited to be here, excited to be here at this time, excited to still be alive, right? There are a lot of people who don't make it, all right? And I'm very aware of that as someone who has lost 3 siblings, a parent, uncle, a cousin, all right, and tons and tons and tons of friends, right, and aunts, all right, and tons and tons and tons of friends, like hundreds of friends at this point, hundreds of people who I know and love no longer here. I am very aware that life ain't promised, right? I'm very aware that life happens and transition, what many call death, is a huge part of that life. I was telling Kimona that one of the things, one of the coaching things I really want to get into, and I really want to do more of, because I've done it. Right, we do a grief group. It's really helped people. It's really coach people in their grieving process. Right, when people lose a parent, when people lose a sibling, when people lose any relative, any friend, I really want to support them and coach them. Right, so that's something that in the near future, as the year goes on, I put that service out there specifically. I think more than wellness coaching, more than brain coaching, even, right? I mean, I guess it's part of brain coaching, but more than like health coaching, more than like diet coaching, I really want to do grief coaching. A lot of people are grieving. A lot of people are not living their dreams. A lot of people are not pursuing their goals. A lot of people are not healthy because they are grieving. A lot of people are violent because they are grieving, and their grief has never been addressed. Right? They have never addressed their grief. There's never been space made for them to address their grief. Whether they're a young person and they have to go to school and they have all of these demands and deadlines and around sports or any extracurricular activity of just being a young person. Right? There's no space for them to grieve. My dad passed when I was 11, and there was no space for me to grieve. And even though I went for 3 years to therapy from 95 to 98, right? Beginning of 96 to the end of 98, 99, I went to therapy. Therapy was in Queensbridge. It was a Steinway Child and Family Services, but there was never really a space to grieve. My mother didn't want to talk about my dad's passing, and that made me angry because every time I wanted to talk to her about it, she was like, "Oh, not now." later, tomorrow, I'm busy. And what I realized later on, which, I have compassion for my mother, is that she also lost a partner. That was her partner. And she lost him suddenly, right? So it wasn't just me losing a dad. It was my mother losing a partner. So she had nobody to talk to her about it, right? But she had also never dealt with her mother transitioning when she was 19 and her father transitioning back in 2001, right? A lot of people, there's no space for people to grieve. So I created the grief support group in Queensbridge on Thursdays, right? Zach Drums, peace and love. What's going on, brother? I created the grief support group in Queensbridge. It happens on Thursdays. We are going into our 4th year now of that grief support group each and every Thursday. As long as the community center is open, we are there. And even some Thursdays when it is closed, we do it at my home, right? We do it at my home here in Astoria. We sit in circle, and it's space to talk about the grievances, right? All of the grief, the big griefs, losing a parent, losing a child, losing a sibling, losing a partner, right? To the medium griefs, right? Losing your income, losing your stability, losing your home, being uncertain about life, right? Losing your identity. Identity is a grief that a lot of people don't even talk about. Who you once were, that you no longer are, and who you thought you would become, and you become, as you age, you become further and further and further away from that person. Right? A lot of people thought, I'm gonna be an athlete, I'm gonna be an entertainer, I'm gonna be this person. And then as you age, right? Now, there's some things you can still do, of course, right? You want to be an athlete, and maybe you can't play professional football or in the NFL no more because you're at a certain age, but you can still play in a league, right? But like the identity grief, and there's so much. So that's one of the things I've learned so much about grief, and through my own personal grief, then through studying grief, actually studying mental health and getting certified and all of those things. I really want to offer grief support services for a lot of people. Eddie Kruger, what's going on? Steph Fusen, what's going on, my brother? So that's something that, as the year goes on, we're gonna put out there, right? So stay tuned. Hit me up though. Hit me up. We can talk about it. We can set something up. We can set up a one-on-one session. You can come to the group session. The group sessions are free. The one-on-one sessions, there is a fee, but the group sessions are always free, right? The grief support group sessions, 100% free, no donation, no nothing needed. Just show up. There's always food at the end. We start with a meditation. There's always a very, 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 very powerful space, very transformative space. A lot of breakthroughs have happened in that space. Very supportive space, right? It's a space of healing, right? The name of the group is Together We Heal, right? Because we heal in community. We heal when we become aware that we can heal, when we become aware of what is hurting us, right? And then we're in the space that's safe enough to express and communicate and receive that love. So yeah. Well, we're gonna jump into the show. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugary Marston. Oh man, okay, pause. There we go. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugary Marston. You are tuned into episode 545 of SRDaily 545, and we are going to get right into the show. Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, episode 545. We're going to start with a quote of the day. Today's quote is, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." It's from Bruce Lee. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. This is golden. An easy life is not a great life, right? An easy life is not a great life. As Les Brown says, if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. As we talk about grief, if you address the grief, which is hard, if you make space for the grief, which is hard, if you process the grief, which is hard, if you accept the loss, the transition, the shifts in your life, if you do all of those things, your life will be easy, right? Like, you will get there. You will get there to where life becomes easy. You just gotta have faith. You gotta trust the process, and you gotta remember that dark days and hard times don't last always. All right, dark days and hard times don't come to stay. They come to pass. They come to clear a path. They come to make a way for you. You just gotta have the courage to step through it, to walk through it, to endure it, to embrace the toughness, embrace the discomfort, embrace the feelings of uncertainty, and remember that before everything changes in your world, you will feel it throughout your body. You will feel the emotion. You will feel the energy coursing through your body, and you will know that a change is coming. The change is here. And let's move right along, though. Right, I spent a lot of time on the opening check the banner. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Mona. Check the banner. The banner has been changed. I appreciate that, my love. I definitely did not. That means I ain't checking yesterday. We're gonna get it together one of these days, guys. We're gonna be more on point. But let's go to our second segment of the day. Not sure if you guys saw, but it was an article floating around social media. I went and pulled the article. Only major news station, news outlet that published an article is the Post. I clicked a different um, site through my Google search, and it gave me. I think it gave me a bug on my phone. Right? It said something, and it didn't take me to the article. But the news is that a 13-year-old girl here in New York City with some health challenges jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge. A 13-year-old girl with some mental health challenges jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge just a few days ago. Her family is suing ACS, saying that the agency failed the little girl. Let's article in the Post and talk about it. January 17th, Saturday morning, article was published. Girl 13 jumped off Brooklyn Bridge after years of NYC child welfare officials failing her. The city ripped a delusional 13-year-old NYC girl from her family, then failed to monitor the troubled child as she repeatedly fled her foster home until she finally committed suicide by jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. In a panic bid to cover up its failures, the Administration for Children's Services then allegedly backdated records and reports after the girl's death, the traumatized family claimed in a heartbreaking lawsuit. ACS killed Jade Smith, her mother, Terry Nemo, declared in legal papers. Over the course of ACS's 20-month assault on the Nemo family, the Nemos lost their home, their jobs, and their 13-year-old daughter. They will never recover. A year after Jade's stunning suicide this is January 2023. A year after Jade's stunning suicide in January 2023, a bumbling caseworker made an unannounced visit to the family's Brooklyn home and obviously asked if Jade was out for the moment, the 35-year-old mom said in the kitchen. The mother, I don't know why my video keep pausing. Live been pausing a lot lately. My live video been pausing. It's reconnecting on IG. I don't know what's going on my live, y'all. They don't want me to go live, right? I don't know. I don't think nobody's calling. I know I had to turn off the do not disturb because of the Meta glasses. I don't know why I had to turn it off. That was a little weird. The mother had nightmares and panic attacks about this cruel interaction for weeks. Jade was an extremely gifted, creative, passionate child and prolific artist, always drawing and painting, her family said in their Brooklyn federal court lawsuit against the city and several ACS employees. But she was plagued by severe mental health issues, including post-traumatic stress disorder, dissociative identity disorder, and depression that required multiple hospital stays from the time she was 9. She hallucinated a faceless black figure following her at school and woke screaming in the night, convinced she was covered in bugs, according to legal papers. By 12 years old, she attempted suicide multiple times. One apparent delusion changed the course of the family's life. In July 2022, her oldest daughter told Nemo someone entered her room in the night and groped her breast and buttocks, then eventually claimed her stepfather, whose job as an overnight security guard took him out of the home in the wee hours, was responsible. This crazy was responsible, according to the lawsuit. The mom informed the girl's biological father and stepdad, noting the child said she had been dreaming about a boy she had a crush on when the alleged abuse occurred. But weeks later, Jade repeated the allegation to a friend who told their parent. That parent called ACS. Caseworkers showed up the same day, launching the family into hell, they alleged. ACS did not contact Jade's therapist, psychiatrist, friends, or neighbors. They did not review her medical history, the family said in the lawsuit. They did not even attempt to confirm what medication she was prescribed, nor was she discussed with the therapist at an appointment she attended after the alleged incident. Caseworkers ran to Brooklyn Family Court in September 2022, filed a neglect petition accusing stepfather Richard Nemo of abusing Jade, but failed to include the girl's extensive mental health history, nor any other salient facts, the family, and thus began a systematic dismantling by ACS of every source of love, security, and comfort in Jade's young life. Jade was placed with the grandparent, who lived in a single-room occupancy home and couldn't handle the increasingly unstable girl, fled the home mid-time. Meanwhile, the family was broken up Meanwhile, the family was broken up, with two siblings staying with the mom, but the stepdad ordered to stay away. The agency's records were far farcically inaccurate and incomplete, failed to mention the hallucinations or runaway attempts, while caseworkers dismissed Nemo's concerns about her daughter's safety, the family alleged. The girl was placed in a different foster home. Nemo last saw her daughter on Christmas Day 2022. As soon as Jade saw her mother, she ran into her arms and told her how much she loved her, according to the lawsuit. 2 weeks later, on January 15th, Jade fled that foster home. The next day, her body was found in the East River. Mm. The same day, ACS rushed backdated case notes into their records and dramatically escalated its intrusion, seemingly desperate to somehow retroactively justify its actions in separating the family. The agency then contacted Jade's longtime therapist for the first time after she was gone. Wow. While caseworkers repeatedly questioned her surviving siblings, teachers, and guidance counselor hunting for signs of neglect, the family claimed. The belated probe of the Nemos dragged on for more than a year, forcing the family to make it their full-time job to respond to the agency's demands. Neither parent was able to sustain their employment. Within months, the couple had lost not only their jobs, but also their home. They moved into a shelter, according to the lawsuit. A family court judge cleared Jay's parents in February 2024 of any wrongdoing, calling the abuse allegations extremely difficult to believe and describing Nemo as attentive as a parent could have been to Jade's considerable mental health needs. There will be a reckoning, said the family, which is seeking unspecified damages. ACS declined to comment in the litigation. The safety and well-being of New York City children and youth is our top priority. The loss of Jade Smith is a terrible tragedy. We offer our deepest condolences to the family, a spokesperson said in a statement. ACS is fucking bullshit. Lubin Wellness, what's going on, my brother? ACS is a fucking bullshit institution, agency. We got to do better. We got to figure out a better way. Like, as the people, as a city, as a society, we got to figure out a better way, because I understand the supposed purpose of the agency, right? There are children, there are young people who are in families that are abusive, that are neglectful. There are children who grow up in homes that, with parents that are not fit to be parents. I know that, right? Like, I get that. But the agency often fails a lot of people, a lot of families. The agency often takes children from their families without, like, any real reason, right? It's a fucked up situation. It is a fucked up, it's a fucked up situation, man. May young Jade rest in peace. May her family get the justice and support that they need to endure, right? This is a family that I would love to be able to support, right? And make space for. Because I'm sure there's a lot of grief. There's probably some self-blame, right? Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot there. Let's move along to our third segment of the day. As always, our third segment is a tip of the day. For this tip, we are going to change the energy a bit. Today's tip is more so a reminder. Give thanks in advance for the things that you pray for. Give thanks in advance for the things that you pray for. Do not pray from lack. Do not pray from a spirit or a space of lack, of not having. Pray from alignment. Pray from a space of gratitude. Don't beg. Don't plead. Be assertive and claim what you pray for as it is already, as it already is. It makes your prayer stronger and more vibrant. You will become stronger and more attractive, right? My prayers have changed from, please continue to guide me and protect me. Please continue to guide and protect my children. Please open the door for Pomona. Please, like, those are my prayers. My prayers are now, thank you. Thank you for guiding and protecting me, right? Thank you for continuing to guide me and protect me. Thank you for continuing to guide and protect my children. Thank you for opening every single door, right? Like, those have become my prayers. I've become more affirmative. I've become more assertive, right? And even my affirmations have changed from I will, right? Like, I will be a seven-figure earner to I am a seven-figure earner. And even in the wee hours of the morning, this morning, 3 a.m., I was writing, I put a date to it. I put a date to it. I will be a seven-figure. No, I am a seven-figure earner by this date. Right? That was what I wrote in my book this morning. And yeah, I feel as I mentioned last week, right? Oh, that's talking about clarity. The clarity that I feel, a lot of the emotion I was holding has been like, it's literally like it shed. Last year was the year of the snake. It literally things shed off me, like it literally shed, like the anger, the resentment, right? All of the ill feelings from not just from past shit, but shit that happened last year, right? It wasn't like I was holding old shit. It was shit that was happening last year that caused these feelings. And by the end of the year, even though the situation had not changed, a lot of those feelings, all of those feelings started to like fall by the wayside. And even as some people do things that cause harm to me and cause harm to people I love, it's no anger, right? There is some sadness because some people I love are sad, and I'm empathetic and I feel them, right? I feel their sadness, but I still pray for those people. I still am praying for those people. I am praying that they are guided and protected. I am praying that they are guided to their higher selves. I am praying that they are guided, right, like to their center, right? And I'm praying with thanks, like thank you, right? I'm not praying asking, please guide them. No, thank you for guiding them. I now am starting to know, I'm starting to think that all of us, even when we do things that may not be in our best interest or in the best interest of people that we love, we're all operating from a space in which we think that our decisions are the best. All of us are operating from a space in which we think the decisions that we are making in the moment are the best for us and for the people connected to us. All of us are doing what we can with what we have. We're doing the best, right? Our brain is always trying to protect us, right? We're always trying to feel safe, right? We're always trying to maintain some control. Change is not good for a lot of people. A lot of people don't want change, whether it's changing their ways, changing the environment, right? Changing the relationship dynamics. A lot of people are not comfortable with that. And so we behave in ways, we do things to keep us in a certain level of safety, right? And I learned that that's okay, right? That's okay. It may not feel good to me, it may not feel good to others, but for that person and any person who is making a decision from their best space, it's okay for them. And so I just thank you for guiding them. And I like to think, I like to believe that my will be done, right? My will is in alignment with divine source energy, the highest level, and everything's gonna work out. And everything's already worked out, and it's already aligned. Not that it will align, it's already aligned. Like it is. Like the pain is part of the fucking journey. It is. Like when we say it will align, when people say it will align, they mean like the pain. No, the pain is part of the journey. As the saying goes, the obstacle is the way. Life is a bed of roses that has fucking thorns. The shit hurts. And it will hurt. And it will always hurt in some capacity. However, we ain't praying for an easy life. We're praying for the strength to endure a difficult one. Right? We ain't praying for an easy life. We're praying for the strength to endure a difficult one. We are affirming that we have the strength, that we are strong enough to endure the difficult life. We are strong enough to make it through the painful time. We are strong enough to transmute. We are aware enough to transmogrify everything that was meant for harm, everything that was meant for pain, everything that was meant to break us down. It's for our good, and it's fuel for our future. Let's move right along to our fourth and final segment of the day. Today's fourth segment, as always, is the build of the day before we get out of here. Today's build, I want to talk about, I want to ask a question. And please, peace, Darlene Lewis. Please answer the question if you can. Why do so many people talk about their family doesn't support them? I really want to know. I have my theories, right? I've seen why some families don't support certain family members. I understand why. Um, It's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why family may not support, parents may not support a child, uncles may not support a niece or nephew, siblings may not support each other, children may not support their parents, their uncles, nephew. It's a lot of it's a lot in it, right? I think one of the reasons that families don't support is because they don't know what to support, right? They don't know what to support, right? There are a lot of people who I've seen and who I've heard, right? I've seen posts online, I've read, but I've also heard people say that their family doesn't support them. I ain't got no family, ain't nobody, don't nobody support me, don't nobody give a damn about what I'm doing. I've heard it in so many different capacities, men and women, right? Men and women, black and white. I've heard it, I've seen it. Um, and it sucks. And I'm grateful. I am grateful that that's not my story, right? I'm grateful that that's not my story. It's not. I can never say my family nor my community doesn't support. My family supports the fuck out of me. My community supports the fuck out of me, like in small ways and big ways, right? They bought T-shirts, they bought magazines, they bought soaps, right? They freaking friends' parents used to hit me up for incense or for soaps, right? And when I stopped selling incense and soaps, they would still ask, "Yo, you're not selling incense no more. You're not selling soaps no more." I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Oh man." All right. They bought my T-shirts, they bought my books, they bought the magazines I was selling and writing in. They've shown up to my plays, right? 2010 when I was doing the stage play, they was there for that, right? Like, and even before that, before even going to prison, before getting on this positive freaking path when I was in the streets, they were supportive. Again, not supportive in me being in the streets, but like picking me up, taking me out, trying to keep me off the streets, playing the game with me, like come pulling up on me, like all of the things, all of the things, all of the things. Small ways and big ways. Again, buying tickets to events, coming to demonstrations, phone calls, text messages, donating to different things. Right. Yesterday, I was texting with my uncle David, and that was the inspiration behind this build of the day, right? He was speaking so much life into me, like in text messages. He was like, "How I'm already super successful. He can't wait till I really, really get there, so he can tell people he knew what he was talking about." Because all of my uncles, um, one uncle at one point said I would die before a certain age, right? Before I was 16 or 18 or 21, right? And I get it. I was living a life that was very reckless. However, that same uncle was also very supportive, right? Yeah, in his way, right? He's a funny guy, but in his way, he was very supportive, right? He kept me sometimes from Queensbridge. He brought me to where he lived, right? He did a bunch of other things for me at different times, right? So very supportive in his way. But Uncle David and Uncle Wayne, they were the two who mostly uh, like fueled my dreams, my wild dreams as a kid that I had, right? Of having all of this money to buy this big home and to do all of these different things. They them two were the guys. So David was like, he can't wait till I get there, so he can tell everybody he knew what he was talking about. Also said that I already talk like a very wealthy person, right? He said that he was, he watches my show sometimes. He comes on Instagram and watches the show, and he said that he can't wait till I have my own TV show, like a TV show on national TV. And so I affirmed that. I said I will be on national TV very soon, and we are right. Once we as we build Continuum, right, our new company, our new business, and once we uh, become seven-figure earners, right, which is happening this year. Once that happens, with the money, whether a network gives a deal, right, a network comes with a deal that we agree to, or we'll have our own money to produce our own shit, and we'll do our own shit, right? But yeah, man, it's super exciting. Made me so emotional talking with my uncle yesterday, going back and forth that text exchange, right? And I am grateful and I am privileged because, again, I know that the story I have around family support is not the story of people, and so I'm grateful. I recognize my privilege, and yeah, no comments to why that may be. Why that may be. Said Food said I think certain family members have a history of making bad decisions, and sometimes ideas are not presented professionally. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. He said, my family supports me. I do realize my family are not revolutionaries. That's a big fact. There is a difference, right? And you got to know who you're dealing with. You gotta know who your family is and what you're asking of them, right? Everybody's family. Some families, again, they don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand how they can support you. Be very specific. I need financial support. I need you to show up. I need, like, what support do you need? Right? Safu said the greatest of powers will guard righteous intent. That's a fact. Uh, yeah, but yeah, yo, listen, guys, that's the show for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. This is episode 545 of SR Daily. SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. We have 55 more episodes. We are 55 episodes away. That's 11 weeks. We are 11 weeks away from our next milestone episode 600, in which we will have another live studio audience. All right. And these gonna keep fucking going, man. But listen, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Please be sure to tune in to tomorrow's show. Same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and of course, Instagram Live. Eddie Kruger chimed in and said a lot of families don't support until they see results. That's a fact. That does happen. A lot of families do not support you until they see the result. They see that you are serious about what it is that you're doing. I think one of the reasons a lot of families doesn't support people is because they didn't have family to support them. And they think that because they had a hard journey, you should have a hard journey. And you ain't no different than them. So yeah, it's a lot of shit, right? It's a lot of fucking shit, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up! The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.